It is that time. What's going on, guys? It's me, Westtown HD. Today, guys, we're here to discuss the new information, the information given to us by Game Freak, the Pokemon company, about Pokemon Sword and Shield. But I am not alone. I am joined by Rabbit Sensei Gaming.
Yo!
I am joined by Revolving Bunker, Newtype SF, Mr. Steel Yo Girl, Rico Suave.
Hello!
And I'm joined by Count Christo, the one and only.
Yo, what's up? Sable Squad.
Hey, hashtag Team Sable spreading the gospel. Before we get into the video, guys, go ahead and leave a like on the video if you're excited for these games just as we are. So, guys, initial impressions. What are your guys' thoughts on the games, just at face value?
I mean, it's probably the best looking Pokemon game we're ever gonna get.
See, I'm so happy that they actually are using the Sun and Moon engine and not the Let's Go engine.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think it'll look even better. Like, compare X and Y in the amount of years they had on the same software of the 3DS to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Those games look completely different, like crazy different.
Oh yeah.
And I think the next Pokemon games will look like even better, like amazing.
I think the biggest leap that was taken between X and Y and Sun and Moon is that X and Y focused kind of on a grid system. Like with a circle pad, you notice your train would always be on a grid, but like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire kind of took that away a little bit. And then in Sun and Moon, like they just straight up removed it. Like you could just free walk just like you could in Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, and like Coliseum and stuff like that. So that was probably like, the biggest jump they made there, as well as moving away from like the chibi sprites.
Another thing I noticed was that in Pokemon Let's Go, in Sword and Shield, they compared like the Pikachus they showed there, and the one in this one actually has like a nicer shading. It's a bit darker, like a little nicer.
Really?
And touches like that, they're like really nice.
Yeah, the model's the same, but the shading is different, and it looks a bit better.
Well, even then, the models actually aren't exactly the same. Now, I never played Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but I have seen the gameplay, and you can tell that they've upscaled their models, obviously. They've given them a few more polygons to work with. And as you all said, yes, the shading is done better. I think the shading is actually the type of shading they used in the Let's Go games, which I'm okay with. Because Let's Go games, they were a technical test, essentially.
A demo of Generation 8, so to speak.
Yeah, and pretty much there were some good ideas in it. And as a matter of fact, I had fun with Let's Go, to be honest. It's not an intense game, but it's a fun game. It's a fun distraction. And then there's the other game that's come out here, Sword and Shield. It looks really good. I'm definitely going to play it day one. But I am sort of sad that they didn't take one thing that everybody loved about Let's Go, which was we can't see the Pokemon on the field anymore. It's back to random encounters.
See, now, I see everyone... The massive majority of people are saying that, but me personally, I didn't like that feature because that kind of took away all the surprise of what Pokemon you'd find on that route. Like, I love just running into the grass and getting that kind of roulette feature of, hey, I don't know what I'm going to find here. I don't know if there's a new Pokemon or not. But when you're not on the overworld, you can kind of just see all of them. I think for, like, the Let's Go series, if they do, like, a Let's Go Johto or whatever, and they just, like, if they just keep that to the Let's Go world, I'm completely fine with that. But for the main games, I prefer it just to be random.
I think the only reason they did like the you can actually see what Pokemon you're gonna encounter on the overworld. It's because of like Let's Go actually did that.
Yeah,
and that's what they were trying to go for, like Let's Go on the home console.
Oh, you mean Pokemon Go? How Pokemon Go had it on the overworld?
Yeah, then you could just like choose who you wanted to encounter, like in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
True, but there's one. I get where you're coming from on this, Westtown. But one thing I'm also thinking is there could have been a nice little compromise between things, because you could show where a Pokemon was on the overworld, but have it just blacked out as a silhouette. That way you don't know what it is until you run into it.
That's an interesting concept, actually.
That'd be neat. I think in an earlier Pokemon game, they had like one of those Pokemon Seekers where you turn it on and then the grass would shake. So it'd kind of be like that, but all the time. I would be interested in that.
I think that was actually
the Let's Go feature.
Wasn't that feature in Black and White, the shaking grass?
I don't
it started in
remember.
Black and White.
And then I think they had some kind of pseudo version of it in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, where if you snuck in the grass, you could find like shaking patches and chain Pokemon and shinies like that, or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, you could, yeah. So they've done it before. I think that'd be a good compromise.
Going back to the models, I kind of hope they like fixed the models of some of the Pokemon, because it was kind of weird throwing out a Wailord and it was just like smaller than you.
Oh bro, I really hope, like, Gale of Darkness to this day is the only game that ever got Wailord's like size and mass in like a perfect way.
And then we got like this inflatable Wailord over here. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Come on, guys.
Bro, can I ride Wailord this game? You can ride Charizard the last game. All right.
Still don't know if we can ride Pokemon in this game. I really, really want that to happen. That was so good. That was so fun in Let's Go.
I actually enjoy it. The one thing I will speak though about ride Pokemon in Let's Go was, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you're on a flying Pokemon, you have to go back into your like Pokemon team and disable it to get off it. There's no hot bar to turn off.
Yeah, that's one thing in that one that I wasn't too fond of. But, you know, it was only a minor thing.
And at least
so
with
no big
bicycles
deal.
and whatnot in previous Pokemon games, like if you couldn't bike in an area, and you drove in there with a bike, it would just take the bike away. With this, it won't let you go in the area if you're, like, you'll just fly over it.
It kind of makes sense, especially if you like take out a Pokemon out of your party and then you put it back in and they gotta hotkey it. I mean, they did that for like Ultra Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where you have the Pokemon raids and then you can just hotbar them to your D-pad and then just whip it out whenever.
But I also think Let's Go kind of suffered with making it specifically one Joy-Con only, because they kind of used up all their buttons.
Yeah, that is definitely a true factor.
And they designed it specifically, like even just for the Pokeball Plus, on like 2 buttons.
Yeah, which is neat because, you know, it's sort of a throwback to, you know, Gen 1, how you really only had 2 buttons to work with on the Game Boy original, so...
Moving on, so what are your guys' initial thoughts on our new trainers? I don't think they have names yet, but what are you guys' thoughts on them?
Dude, my dude looks like he's from Hey Arnold.
I think people have been calling them Sword and Shield Chan for now. So.
So which one's Sword, which one's Shield?
I think that's obvious.
All right, moving on.
Keep it G.
I'm sorry.
Overall, just personally speaking, I really like these models. I was not a fan in the slightest of the Let's Go models, like, because normally like I'll gravitate to one or the other, but they looked like even younger than 10 years. Like they look straight out of kindergarten with those models. I understand he was supposed to, like, the main character was kind of supposed to look like a pseudo version of Red, but I don't think he really, like, when Red was in the game, you saw Red was a tall dude compared to this guy. This guy, the main trainer, kind of just came out of grade school and he was trying to run up on Red, but that's for another story. I really like these, and is it a thing because I'm not from the UK, I'm from Canada. Is it a thing in the UK to walk around with a freaking suitcase? Because my dude on, my man's Sword over here, he's got a freaking briefcase as his backpack.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think they just went for an aesthetic thing.
See, with the female, she has like a irregular like handbag with it. My man's got a suitcase. What are you carrying in there, friend?
That's so funny. I didn't notice that.
That was the first thing I picked out when I saw the trailer. I was like, my dude got a suitcase.
There's one thing I would say about the models is like for Sword, I just don't like his hat. That's about it. Overall, it's overall really good design.
I mean, it's funny you say that because I remember when Sun and Moon first got announced, everyone hated the female trainer's hat. They're like, the first thing I'm doing is taking that hat off.
I loved her hat.
It looks like a little chicken, and I don't know if I love it or hate it, but it's
That's
cute.
why I loved it. It's just cute.
I like the hat for the female trainer this time around as well. This little, what's it called, a beret? Not a beret.
Yeah, it's a beret.
Okay. What do you think about the trainer's rabbit?
Well, first things first, I think we all agree that the design for the, you know, base female trainer is clearly Scottish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm fairly certain that the male trainer is, I don't know, Welsh, maybe? Just if I had to hazard a guess.
I mean, you seem like you know more about the UK than I do, so go on.
Well, it's just because I did a lot of study on fantasy back in the day, because medieval fantasy was my thing. But yeah, I do like the designs. I hope that they make it with the trainers that they do it more like what they did in X and Y, where you can have a lot more customization on them than what we got in the last few games that came out. Because the last few games, it was just sort of a, oh yeah, we have 2 different variants of each model you can use. Choose wisely.
Yeah, I think X and Y had the best customization, and it'd be cool to see that return.
It was an Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but they can like improve on it since they have like a better engine to work with.
I don't think that character customization won't return, because if you look at these characters right now, not that they look basic, but what they're wearing right now could be like their forever clothes, but they look specifically made to have different outfits.
Yeah.
Not to say my man can't rock with that red shirt the whole game, but me personally, I'm gonna need my Komodo armor from 7th Gen.
I'm just saying, let me wear my Tims.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I'm just saying, whenever I play this, first thing I'm doing, I'm changing to a blue shirt, because we all know what happens to red shirts.
Yeah, so talking about character customization though, what do you guys think we'll see for like London or UK inspired clothes? Do you think we'll get like those goofy hats that the Queen's Guard wears?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about locations, but okay.
I straight mean clothes, bro.
I actually don't know a lot about UK fashion, so...
That's why I put it out there. I said the Queen's goofy hats, because I mean, that's all about all I know.
Oh, there has to be like a yellow raincoat kind of outfit.
Oh yeah, because it does rain a lot.
Yeah, there definitely has to be like sort of, I don't know, cold weather fashion.
Yeah, because from what I hear from someone I know who actually lives up there, it gets fairly cold fairly frequently.
Now, will we be able to put pants on the female character, or is she going to be locked to a skirt? Because if you've seen an anime, chicks in the winter will still wear skirts, but they'll put a scarf on to stay warm.
I'm looking at you, Dawn.
Specifically
Right.
Dawn, too, because she's wearing that skirt. Wearing the mini
Wearing
skirt.
his big-ass coat with no pants.
Alright, so moving on. What do you guys think initially about the starters? First of all, I am Team Sobble. Hashtag preach Sobble the gospel. But that's just me.
Well, obviously, I have to go Team Score Bunny.
I mean, it's in your name.
Okay.
I mean,
Surprisingly, I'm going with Team Groki.
Nice. So we got all bases covered.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
think-
funny to me. I like hated the designs like when I first saw them. I'm like, oh no. But then like every like waking moment, I'm just liking them more and more. Like I think they're all cute now.
what's funny about that is in like the first bit is on Chris's reaction video. He's like, I'm not a fan of these starters, and then I go down to the ratings. There's like 9 dislikes. I'm like, I feel like people came onto the video, mashed dislike after that, and left. Because later on, he's like, okay, I like them drawn. I like these starters, but I don't think people realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way they did the starters. I said this to you in private talk before West Town, but they did sort of follow the rule of KISS, keep it simple, stupid, which actually sells mascots more than anything else.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think we really need super complicated like start. Because if you like, for example, like if you look at like first generation, they're all pretty simple. Second generation, once again, I think third generation might have the most simplistic because like Torchic just kind of like a little mudkip. Trico specifically, Trico's really just like a green gecko. So starters are normally always pretty simplistic. Then like the middle evolutions, kind of like that in between phase of them hitting puberty, and then when they're full grown adults, then they're scary.
Exactly. I mean, for crying out loud, everyone loves Charizard, and Charmander is one of the most simple designs out of the original trio.
It's just a red lizard.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a dragon. It breeds fire. Everyone loves dragons.
But it's not a dragon.
Okay, that's a sensitive topic. moving on to the next topic. What do you guys think these Pokemon will evolve into? Just so far, reading off the descriptions we've been given, it says Grookey is a mischievous chimp Pokemon that is full of boundless curiosity. Scorbunny is a rabbit that is always running about, bursting with energy. And Sobble is a somewhat timid water lizard that shoots out attacks as it hides itself in the water. So Sobble is very clearly based off kind of like camouflage, so for that people are forecasting like a water ghost type, which I wouldn't mind. I just hope he doesn't become like a water dark type like Greninja. I really hope these guys don't mirror the 6th generation starters. But what do you guys think?
For Scorbunny, I was kind of hoping for either a Fire Fairy or Fire Electric, which would be very interesting.
That would be interesting, actually. I don't think we have any fire fairy types yet.
I mean, it's always bursting with energy. It's very fast. Bro, he's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, and they've already done firefighting twice, so
3 times.
Even though his design is based off of a football player, I'm talking real football, not American football, I have a feeling that he'll probably end up being either a fire ground or firefighting. I hope he's not firefighting. He might be fire ground.
I really hope it's not firefighting. We've had 3 firefighting Pokemon in a row with Blaziken,
Exactly.
Infernape, and then what's his name from 5th gen?
Emboar,
yeah.
Yeah, it looks suspiciously like it could be a firefighting, but yeah, I'm hope not.
To be fair,
I think
people
they know the meme.
People figured that Incineroar was going to be firefighting. I still think Incineroar could have been a firefighting, but they probably just made him dark type to kind of differ from that.
Bro, he's the heel.
True.
Yeah, though I will say a fire ground would make him double weak to Sobble.
I mean, I think when it comes to balancing the trio, like for example, Sun and Moon was Fire Dark, and then Fire Dark was super effective on Grass Ghost, which is Decidueye. But then it got weird because Primarina was Water Fairy, and Ghost isn't super effective on Fairy. So it kind of like halted the triangle there. But
Well, if you wanted to make this the true triangle, it would be Fire Fairy, Water Poison, grass fighting.
Ooh, actually, water poison could be an opportunity.
I could actually see that.
Bobble is based off of a chameleon.
Yeah.
See, because Grookey has like this bat thing in his like head. So I was wondering, like in his final evolution, he has like a big old stick, which makes him part fighting. He just beats everyone else up.
It's funny though, because people have been breaking on the trend. They're like, "Yo, so in Grookey's reveal, he's seen tapping a rock. He's gonna become grass rock type." And I'm like, guys,
That's so
guys.
I've seen that
What?
too. But I think that stick kind of brings up something that each of these guys are based on a sport, like an English invented sport, which I think is kind of interesting. I think Grookey is, I forgot the name of it, but the one with the sticks, cricket. And then
Cricket?
Scorbunny is football. And then Sobble could be water polo, because polo is an English sport, but that's a little more of a stretch than the other two that are pretty obvious.
I mean, it sounds like a bit less of a stretch than Grookey becoming a rock type because he's banging on a rock, but
Yeah.
going back to the actual region, this time around it's called the Galar region. What are your guys' initial thoughts on the Galar region?
Oh, it's the UK. It's gonna be rating.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you look at like this is just the UK. I think there's one province that's actually just flipped upside down is what this actual region is.
Yep.
Which I mean, hey, I don't mind that, but at the same time, I mean, my only gripe with it so far is that it looks really straightforward. Like you kind of just climb the totem pole, keep going up like north, and then you'll eventually get to the end of the game. Like it doesn't really look like there's much to like. For example, in like Sinnoh, the reason the Sinnoh region is one of my favorites is because you go all around the map. Like you go up, down, left, right, back and forth so many different times in that game. But for these guys, it looks pretty straightforward. And I'm not sure how much I like that, as well as it doesn't look like there's much places to surf other than the big body of water there. I know it's something weird to complain about, but I personally like surfing.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It just seems like you're gonna be going from the bottom up, and that seems a little less fun than exploring kind of in weird directions.
As well as I wonder if like instead of like fly, if they'll kind of like cut out, because I think we all agree the 8 gems probably are never going to come back after the last 2 games.
Hopefully not.
That's debatable. I thought we saw a gem whenever we were watching the trailer.
I don't know, we saw a gem for sure, but I
You
mean,
said
like-
HM.
but Let's Go also had gems. They just didn't give you 8 gems. My thing is that these I know trains are really big in the UK, and it looks like you can take trains to almost anywhere in the map. So I'm always wondering if that'll be your fast travel methods.
And if we look on the left side of the map here, you can actually see some railroad going between 2 of the mountains on the bottom middle side, bottom
So it
left.
definitely
Oh, yeah,
looks
that's
like
pretty cool.
something that could pop out.
I mean, we haven't really have trains since like 2nd gen.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, the bullet train took us to the Kanto region.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kanto region between the Delta region.
Actually,
Now,
going
here's
on before we move away from that, going on that, people have been theorizing that the region, because people are saying this region looks kind of small. People are saying that what if we took a train from the Galar region to the Kalos region in post game, and you end up in that town where you meet Zygarde with the railroad.
I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but
I mean,
I
because
also
Kalos
think that there could be more islands, like
Yeah.
because like the UK, it's kind of surrounded by a lot, so I could imagine going off the island. But
Okay.
I don't think we're going to be going to Kalos.
So kind of like the Sevi Islands we got in the Fire Red and Leaf Green remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll just be spawner islands with their own things to do.
I mean, personally, I think Kalos is a bit ambitious, but when you think about it, it kind of makes sense because how close the UK is to France.
That is true.
Yeah, I do get that. But honestly, what I think is going to happen is I think the main area here, we will then have a couple of islands to either our west or east, which will probably be representations of Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think so too. Yeah.
Or where's the whales?
Bro, you think we'll actually get a dolphin Pokemon?
I was really hoping for a dolphin Pokemon for 7th gen, but they just did not deliver that to me. I was really disappointed on that. So hopefully Gen 8 will bring back a dolphin Pokemon.
And the first thing we'll have to call it, Flipper.
The flipping dolphin.
Wait, you don't know who Flipper is? Oh,
Can't say I do.
they call him Flipper, Flipper, faster than
I don't know
lightning.
what you're going on about, Rabbit, but
This is what I get for watching Nick at Night growing up. All right.
okay. So I think we basically expressed all we can about the region. So with the region, do you guys think Mega Evolutions will be returning this time around? I know people saw
Yes.
the
Nope.
Pokemon Sword and Shield logos. and they were like Mega Aegislash has to happen.
I think that's. I think Aegislash will be kind of a big thing here, but I don't know. What is it like? What was it? How they did Mega Evolution last game? Like it was just like this post game thing. I think they might do that again. I think they might just be kind of leaving
Just kind
it
of there.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with it. Like Mega Evolution will come back, but they won't add anything new to it.
Yeah, because each of the games since X and Y seems to have had their own little gimmick. X and Y as well as Oras were more on the Mega Evolution, then Sun and Moon were on the Z moves. So
So you think
I think
they'll
there's-
introduce like a new continuity or something like that?
yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a new continuity. I think it's just going to be another new gimmick, and that Mega Evolution, maybe Z moves, are going to be put on the back burner.
They're like, yeah, it's all global now. Here, just buy it.
I've seen people pitching the ideas of fusioning Pokemon now.
God, I hope not.
That's
Let's
a
not
little
do that.
crazy. That's a little, yeah.
I mean,
too much.
technically we already had it with Kyurem, but like
I mean,
we're talking like fusing Charizard and Bidoof.
Like, I'm okay with Kyurem because like they have this entire lore between them, but like then you got like fusing like Mewtwo and Charizard, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
stop.
I'm going to have to give a soft no on that. I mean, as much as I love Digimon, I want to play Pokemon.
Oh, you're right.
we don't want Jorgus fusion over here.
One thing interesting though that I've noticed with the trailer is that if you go back, you see a lot of Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. Namely Lucario, you see Charizard, Tyranitar. Like you see a lot of Pokemon in the trailer that can Mega Evolve.
But that could be a coincidence because the Pokemon that can Mega Evolve are the most popular Pokemon.
Oh, that's also true.
And they might just want to be showing off like the cool Pokemon like Lucario and Charizard and Tyranitar.
Even if they don't add any new Mega Evolutions, I'd like to see them still let you use Mega Evolution before the Elite Four. Because after the Elite Four, I mean, it's just like a competitive thing. At that point, I don't really want, because I'm still a casual Pokemon player, I don't do too many competitive Pokemon battles. So I mean, at that point, Mega Evolution's more so just a tool than anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, here, I have a question for you now. If you could choose one Pokemon to see a new Mega Evolution for, what would it be? Mine would be
Typhlosion.
Ninetales.
Typhlosion? Well, see, Newtype, that's cheating though, because if they get Typhlosion, well, then Blaziken Whistle by itself, so I guess that's alright, never mind then. I don't know, see, because I think when they...
Machamp. 6 arms.
6 arms.
We don't need a share of the Machamp over here.
I think... I don't know, because I feel like they'll probably do something unique with the 4th generation starters in the remake. I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, Ho-Oh is my favorite Pokemon, but I still want a Mega Flygon. I'm sorry. And their logic behind not doing a Mega Flygon was, we don't know what it would look like. But we don't either, Game Freak. You're the one with the map, Dora. Don't ask me.
They're just like, we couldn't come up with a good design. And like, you have all these people coming up with good designs. It's like, bro, step up your game.
It's like, bro, you could have
Just go on
just...
DeviantArt.
I'd say you could have
Go to DeviantArt, come on.
literally could have just gone to DeviantArt and just given that man a shout out. Now, another thing that there's another concern that people have been having is that, for example, with Pokemon Black and White, it was all brand new Pokemon, 200 brand new mons or something like that. I believe it's
150.
What? For Black and White?
Pretty sure it was like 150.
No, I could have sworn it was 200.
Yeah,
it gave us more than Kanto.
I know,
I
but,
could
like,
have sworn
new
there was
Pokemon.
200, and then there was like Victini was 201 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll
was
have to
like-
check this later.
I could be wrong, but something about people have been picking out is that with Black and White, it was all new Pokemon. There were no returning Pokemon in that game until Black 2, White 2 is when you could access them. And
Post game.
with
post-game.
X and Y, they added primarily form changes and not necessarily new Pokemon. Do you guys think this time around for this generation they're going to give us more fluff and less new Pokemon like they did with X and Y?
I think it might be a mix of both, actually.
I think I prefer not adding like a ton of Pokemon and taking a lot of old ones and just giving some cool new ones.
I mean,
But I don't know what they'll do, I guess.
The main reason I personally don't mind them bringing back some old ones is because these are the first time we'll be able to see these Pokemon in HD. For example, Let's Go only had the original 150, so like Lucario, Tyranitar, Flygon, like all these behemoths, you couldn't able to see them on the big screen. But now that they're bringing them back to an HD game, it has more appeal to me personally.
I mean, I think it has a lot more appeal to everyone, even if they won't admit it, because as much as I love pixel games, which I play a lot of them, I mean, I grew up playing things like classic Mega Man for crying out loud. I'm happy when I see things that I saw in pixel form getting high resolution. That's just really cool to see.
I can definitely agree with that. Nothing makes me feel better than seeing Ho-Oh in HD. What do you think, Newtype?
That'd be dope.
All right, good answer. Cool.
I don't really have much to say on that.
So now with when it came down to 7th generation, they basically skirted the hell out of Mega Evolutions and pretended they never existed. Do you guys think, because I think Z moves are more so very locked to the Alola. The Alola region was built around Z moves. I don't think we'll get them in Sword and Shield until very late game, if at all. What do you guys think?
Like I said, it's gonna be like what they did before. Hey, you're gonna get your Mega Z, Mega Bracelet. You just buy all the things you want.
But now,
Yeah,
I feel like with
Tacked on nothing really. Like, it's not gonna be part of the main game. It'll be an in-game thing.
I feel like with Z moves though, it's like they gotta animate the character doing the Z dance, and then they gotta port over the animation too, which apparently had a lot of budget go into it for Sun and Moon.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to abandon those animations because they still have, the way that they do it, just porting on and over into a higher model with a little bit more skeletal variety. But I do think that they're not going to call them Z moves this time around on a few Pokemon. They're going to call something else, which will essentially be the same as Z moves.
So kind of like how in Pokemon Let's Go we didn't have Z moves, but we had a Splishy Splash and Sizzly Slide and Burny Burn and
Get bad.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's just going to be straight up called special moves at this point or something like that.
Going back to Let's Go, do you guys think we'll get those moves for Eevee and Pikachu in this game, or do you think those are a one-time thing?
One-time thing.
One time, yeah.
You guys don't want to see Sizzly Slide used in competitive?
It was just like the baby easy button kill.
Yeah. I mean, I abused the hell out of it in that game, but it was, who doesn't abuse what they're getting?
Yeah.
That is a fair point. Also, I just had a realization. So every generation, at least not, with the exception of 5th gen and 7th gen, normally give us a new evolution. Or I guess it's every other generation, because 2nd generation gave us some, no for 3rd gen, 4th gen gave us some, none for 5th gen, 6th generation. So I guess that we are due for another evolution. I guess if we did get one, what do you guys think it would be? Personally, I think it would probably be Steel this time around for like the steampunk.
I would either want Ghost or Steel.
Steel makes sense given the world. Ghost would be so cool.
Ghost
I
Eevee
never
would be
really
so
thought about
like
that.
a skeleton Eevee.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, Eevee designs are never like that overly complicated. They're actually more simple than you think.
Yeah. Though I do see the steel being the main thing because London in the UK was pretty much the heart of the Industrial Revolution.
They
that's a
even
good
showed
point.
that in the trailer, like the oil drilling machines and stuff like that. I think it's going to be part of the region in some way or shape or form.
So I wonder if you would like take Eevee to that area and level him up in that town or in the near vicinity, and he'd turn into that.
Please just give us a rock.
Yeah, that could work too. Are you saying you
It's
guys?
just a rock.
Are you guys saying you don't
Destroy.
like tracking down the mossy stone and icy stone in every game to evolve your Eevee?
I mean, it's not that hard. Just look for a forest. It's like, oh, it's there.
I think it was in black and white. Like literally, like you walk into the forest, that's right on your right. They just put it right there for you.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's just an extra trip you have to make, so just give us a damn rock.
True.
Yeah,
Well,
just
it
make
makes
up
things better for future games, so it's just an item that they have to add.
That's true. They could probably like let you use the metal coat instead of making it a held item, and just let him like give it to Eevee and it'll transform.
That'd be actually really convenient. I'd like
That'd
that.
be really convenient indeed. Unless they add a Steel Stone and they like change some other Pokemon, like they just do away with like for example Magneton or Magnezone's evolution. Like just give him a Steel Stone, he'll evolve into that. What are some other specific? I think that was basically it for like Steel Pokemon that were specific.
Actually, Vikavolt can only evolve on a specific island.
Oh, that's
Your
right.
Specific rock,
That's right.
which was really annoying since you can only get a Vikavolt at the very end of the game.
See, on my first playthrough of Sun and Moon, I had no idea. I had a level 45 Charjabug, and I was like, where did I go wrong?
I don't mind. I love Charjabug, my little battery bug.
That's not as bad. That one of my friends, he was playing through Sun and Moon. He caught a male Salandit, got to level 50, was like, why hasn't it evolved yet? All to find out only the females evolve.
I'm glad I found that out so soon.
I just lucked out and caught a female, and I was like, dude, mine evolved to level 35. What do you want about?
Oh, also, to regress a little bit, when you were talking about evolutions, when you said there could be a ghost type, I actually had an idea as to how a ghost type could come about. Because
Go on.
Sylveon comes from it being happy with you and liking you.
Oh, no.
Maybe if your ghost type Pokemon is that Eevee hates you to its core,
Bro.
so it's filled with malice. and
It's
looking at
Game
you
Freak. Game
That's
Freak
so
won't do
funny.
that.
Dude, they
Dude.
should do that. They should.
They should,
Dude,
but you know they
you say-
won't.
You say Game Freak won't do this, but they had the literal Pokemon devil in their game.
No, what? But yeah, Game Freak's pretty dark, actually. I wouldn't say that they wouldn't do that.
And guess what? You can make the devil love you. It's great.
You know, to be fair, actually, I don't think we've ever had a Pokemon evolve. Like, you would think Primeape would evolve, or Mankey evolve into Primeape through rage and hating you and whatnot, but he doesn't. We've never had a Pokemon, like, you need to, like, specifically make it dislike you to evolve.
Yeah, I think the only time that the the dislike mechanic has been used was for like one of the moves that does more damage than they hit you. Yeah, but other than that, I can't think of them ever bringing that up again, like in the gameplay. So that'd be cool, honestly. I think that's a really good idea.
I mean, to be honest, there's not really a lot of ways to make him hate you.
Other than just letting it keep feigning, and I think there might be one item that decreases trust. But I think they'd probably have to add an item.
It was like the bitter roots and whatnot.
Something like that, yeah. Just keep. I can see all the webcomics now of the female trainer forcing bitter roots down its Eevee.
I want you to die.
Now,
turn into a ghost.
In the Pokemon world, how would you advertise that?
This Eevee really hates you. Like, it really hates you.
Tired of your Pokemon liking you? I have your solution right here.
Now watch. Now the trade-off with this evolution is its ability is it doesn't listen to you, just like a traded Pokemon.
Oh god.
Until you get a set amount of badges, yeah.
Until you get a set amount of badges. So moving back into things returning, one feature that they did have in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Sun and Moon 7th generation as a whole that was not present in Let's Go, but I'm really hoping returns, is the Battle Royale mode, where you and 4 friends can face off in a 1v1v1v1, and whoever got 3 points first won. It was actually a really fun mode. Me and my friends played quite a bit of it when it first came out, and I would love to see that in HD. What do you guys think?
I would like to see a return. The only thing I would change out is that the match doesn't end when the person faints.
Yeah, or at least let us like change the rules. Like you can leave that mode in, but let us change it so it's last man standing.
Yeah, that.
So what you're saying is you want 99 people dropping onto Pokemon.
Where are we landing now, boys?
And they find these Pokeballs, they throw it out, see what Pokemon they get, and if you get a Dragonite, you're amazing. If you get the Rattata or Goldeen, you're screwed.
What's worse?
Ice Fang, let's go.
What's worse is I could see them actually doing something like that.
Pokemon Battle Royale, it's on its way. It's coming. Did they say they're working on one more Pokemon game in the Direct, but it's secret? It's Pokemon Battle Royale.
I mean, we laugh, but let's face it,
Actually, no.
hilarious.
If they were to do a Pokemon Battle Royale, it'd be in the Rumble style.
It probably would be, yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking about other games Game Freak is working on, this is a game that had literally slipped out of my mind as soon as they announced 8th generation, but Town, that game that Game Freak's putting together, is supposed to come out this year. Do you think anyone's gonna care about that now that 8th generation's been announced?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's still
Hell is
people
Town?
see, and that's the thing. It was I think it was.
I've heard of it. I just don't remember.
It was I think it was shown off at E3, and it's basically I think 8th generation's using the engine for Town, but I think it's supposed to be kind of like an Animal Crossing style game. I think we're not entirely sure. They haven't given us details since E3.
I mean, Pokemon and like Town are like two different like niches that people are looking for.
Yeah, it's just thing of. To be honest, until you mentioned it, I had completely forgotten it existed.
That's the thing.
So
I had forgotten it till.
That should be an answer for you right there.
I don't think because we haven't heard anything about it since E3, and so I think it's kind of fallen out of relevancy. I mean, the time
I think if they hyped it up, we might be thinking about it more, but they just kind of brought it up and forgot about it. So I mean, if it's interesting, I think it's probably going to be pretty different from Pokemon. So I don't think like Pokemon will affect its sales, just the game, depending on how good or interesting it'll look.
Just don't release them at the
Determine
time.
how good it looks. Yeah, definitely don't do that.
But the thing is, though, we haven't heard anything between now and E3, which kind of makes me worry they might end up just delaying it because they would have to tell us again, because we're not going to get an entire direct between now and E3. It's just not going to happen. So they would have to tell us more about it at E3, unless they release it in July, summer, like before Pokemon. That would be like the only time they could do it. I can see them pushing it back to like Q1 of 2020. Because if they release it in like September or October, I think that's a bit too close to Pokemon. Because Pokemon, the release date for Sword and Shield says late 2020, but we all know it's just going to be November 21st, like it has been the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I don't even know why they're trying to hide it at this point.
I honestly don't know what's going to happen with Town. I think it'll definitely be a good game. I think it's going to go under the radar.
But the thing is, I feel like it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be overshadowed like heavily. As well as they've got Fire Emblem coming out in July, supposedly, is when they're supposed to be releasing it. And I mean, they could release Town in August.
Supposedly.
They could be releasing Town in August, but I think Daemon X Machina is coming out. But then Daemon X Machina is definitely not that wide appeal, so I can see Town coming out around Daemon X Machina in time. I just don't know how Nintendo wants to space their releases, because they've still got Luigi's Mansion 3 supposed to be coming out this year, Animal Crossing supposed to be coming out this year, so there's quite a bit of games. And whereas Town is kind of made by that behemoth of a company being Game Freak, I think they want to kind of focus it at some point. They just don't know when yet. And I don't see it being the big holiday title of this year. That's going to be Pokemon.
Yeah, I almost imagine that it might be released at the beginning of next year.
I think a pushback is maybe in order, especially if they've got specific people from the Town development team back on the Pokemon team now for 8th generation. But I'm not entirely sure how development's going for that.
Yeah, we'll find out eventually.
Eventually. But moving on to our next topic, so the variations between the games. So what do you guys think the differences will be between Sword and Shield? Like, because for example, with Sun and Moon, we got nighttime and daytime. I think that's personally the coolest regional variant. For 3rd generation, we got just straight up different teams, but like a very similar prospect. Just kind of the foot was put on the other shoe. And for 2nd generation, I think it was just legendaries, but the Kimono Girls, which helped you summon the legendaries, were in different places. So what do you guys think they could possibly do to spice up these games for different reasons?
I think there's going to be, like, first, like, the box legendaries, there's going to be, like, a heavily offensive for Sword and a heavily defensive legendary for Shield.
Oh, no.
And I also think there's going to be, like, a regular Pokemon that's just, like, kind of like, you know, like, some Pokemon are kind of like mascots of different, different regions. Like, there's going to be some kind of thing, and it's going to be, like, a Sword Pokemon, or at least another highly offensive Pokemon, and a Shield Pokemon, or a highly defensive Pokemon. And, like, those will be like the main mascots kind of for each game. A
lot of people are forecasting dire wolves as the legendaries.
Dire wolves?
Because they've
from
got
like Norse mythology?
I think that's what they're going for. Because if you look at like the logos for Sword and Shield, they've got the dog on the logos.
Yeah.
I think it's like Fenrir and Glecker, I think it's called.
But when Chris said a highly defensive Pokemon, that scared me because regular form Giratina is still one of the scariest things to try to fight in a Pokemon game in a competitive battle. It does not die.
Multi-scale Lugia.
Stop! No!
Right now.
No! I wanted to forget about multi-scale Lugia. I really hope. I mean, I feel like this has potential to be like the bulkiest Pokemon in like history if it's going to be a shield. But at the same time, it could also just be like, for all we know, they could do like Pokemon Sword is a sword Pokemon, Pokemon Shield is a shield Pokemon, and like the 3rd legendary or whatever they do for this game could like be like a Kyurem Zekrom situation and just kind of fuse them together and have like an actual Sword and Shield combo and be like a pseudo Aegislash, but I don't think they'll go down that route.
I just want them to be very big boys, very good boys.
Very good boys.
I'm gonna make a prediction that they're gonna add a new move, Shield Dance, and it's just Sword Dance, but for defense.
Oh no! Isn't that just wait?
Oh, that's cruel.
That is.
No, it definitely
really
already
cool.
exists. Like that's already a move. I'm forgetting the name, but like in Sun and Moon, they did that with so many abilities and moves where it's the same as an old move. They just gave it a new name for no reason.
Yeah, that's
Like,
So Shield Dance, that's coming.
if they give Lugia a Shield Dance, I'm done.
Now, here's something actually, speaking of the legendaries, though, I do think I have an idea as to what they might be based off of, because they're going to be wolves, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
They might be based off of different Knights of the Round Table, or even, you know, the sword wolf might be based off of Excalibur, you know, so
Ooh.
it might be a fire steel type.
Mhm.
And the defense one, you know, might be based off of which of the Knights of the Round was known as the wolf? I can't remember. Was it Lancelot?
Gawain?
No, Gawain was the Knight of the Sun.
That's
It might have been Lancelot.
for all intents and
And-
purposes, we'll call it Lancelot.
Yeah. So I could see it being, obviously it'd be a highly defensive Pokemon, so it's going to be Steel something. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, I really can't guess right now. Maybe
It
Steel
was
Earth?
Gawain.
It was Gawain?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was just known as the Knight of the Sun. That's my bad. That's my bad. But I do think that because of this, and the naming convention, you know, Sword and Shield, My theory is, what if we're finally going to get to see that Pokemon War we've always heard about? Because Sword, Shield, sort of gives off that vibe.
Wait.
I mean, I thought we got that in like what was it called? X and Y.
We got flashbacks to it, and like, hey,
Yeah,
this is what AZ did. He killed a lot of people.
I think that makes a lot of sense because this place would be so close to Kalos. Like, it would make sense that
isn't this
the war
region supposed to be like
between them.
isn't this region supposed to be the region that Kalos went to war with?
I don't think they specified that, but I think that makes
Because they
like,
said, I'm pretty
a
sure
lot
in
of-
X and Y, I think they said a neighboring region. And if you look at
Yeah.
France and England, they're like right side by side.
Yeah, 100 years.
Oh yeah,
war,
they used
so-
to be at war quite a while
like
ago.
it makes like 100% like just logical sense that it would happen, but I'm like that it's these two countries.
Also, hold up, I just had a thought as well. So Magirina was said to come from like a steampunk. Do you think Magirina is from the Galar region?
No, it's from the Kalos region. No, what was Migrina, like 6th gen, right?
Magirina was 6th gen, but it was like 6th gen DLC, so it was like 6th gen and a half. They more so, yeah, it's complicated.
It was 6th gen.
Because they said it came from a different region. Was it? Are you sure it's Kalos?
I mean, yeah, there was a movie based on.
As well as, do you think they'll do more with Meltan this time around? Because I think Meltan was kind of just the Pokemon.
I think Meltan was just the let's go thing.
I think Milton might
actually
actually
think-
be in it.
Yeah.
But
I have no clue, but I don't know.
I mean,
Have you guys
because it is
seen?
still
Have you guys
Tesla,
seen
so-
the what's it called? The statue, not the statue, like the painting in the grass of that being. Because if you
Yeah.
go and you look at it, it looks like a big Meltan with one eye with little Meltans around it.
I never thought about that.
Because I mean, I don't think because Meltan is a Pokemon. They're not just gonna lock it to one game and call. They've never done that with Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I think this game is gonna be. If you think about Meltan is like. I think in the Let's Go in the Pokemon Go lore, he came from another region and he is like mechanical, like he's a built Pokemon. And this is where this is all steampunk and steel stuff. I feel like now is the time, unless they just kind of throw him in a cave and be like, hey, there's one, get 25 more, and you get a big boy.
Yeah, I forget if it was like officially stated, but I remember when Meltan was first coming out, people were saying, "Oh, it's the first Gen 8 Pokemon." So that makes me think that it's part of this world as well.
I mean, technically, it's still Gen 7, but whatever.
I mean, what Pokemon was it from Sun and Moon that they put in? I'm trying to remember now. Wasn't it? Are you sure Magirina is 6th gen? Because I could have sworn Magirina was 7th gen.
It was like in the point between 6th and 7th gen.
Because I know Diancie, Volcanion, and Hoopa, they were all 6th gen. But, like, I don't know. Game Freak needs to stop, like, putting all these Pokemon, these hidden Pokemon on cartridge and letting people data mine the hell out of them. Got a brand new Pokemon. It's not that brand new. Now, what do you guys think the evil team could be? I've seen people tossing around the idea of the Queen's Guard, but at the same time, so the Queen's Guard for one game, but the Pope and the Holy Church on the other.
Oh gosh.
Bro.
I think that's a little sensitive.
I think it really is, and I don't think Game Freak's ballsy enough to do it, but can you imagine taking on the Pope in a Pokemon battle?
I would. Can you imagine that? I can imagine that. I love that.
Okay. I got an idea. Okay, so we're talking about the Pokemon War, right? So obviously people fought in that war, right?
Yep.
So it's gonna be an old, like, what to call him? Like maybe some kind of dude from that like time period, and he's kind of like wants to get like revival and wants to start another war
That makes
to get
sense.
like revenge, you know? And then he starts like this whole like holier than thou knights.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That is a really
I,
good
um,
idea.
I think Steam Skull kind of took the gimmick of having like a kind of pathetic like gangster kind of team, but I would love like just like really like funny like Slav like gangster, like English gangster. Like, boy, what up, bro? Come on, you were trying a Pokemon fight, mate. I'll kick it.
You think about mom?
What you say about my mum, mate? Just that for the whole game. That's all they are.
yes,
The
Have
evil
them
team is
based off
just...
that. I was gonna say have them based off that old England gang who used to have the razor blades underneath their bowler caps.
The evil team is just the sidemen.
Speaking of the war, though, this could also be a chance to see some of the things that the other trainers did, the gym leaders did during the Pokemon War whenever they came to help and stuff like that.
I really hope that like this time around that they kind of focus more on characters, because like 5th generation, I still think 5th generation has the best story out of any Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like with Sun and Moon, like they tried, but it kind of just like came off as confusing and unnecessary. Like with the old, like the parallel worlds, the different timelines, the way Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon kind of like took out all the character scenes, like the scene with Lily in the cave, that was completely just taken out of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is kind of like a downgrade in terms of story, but I would really love a strong narrative this time around. I just don't know how Game Freak wants to shape this game yet.
Yeah.
Bro, have the Knights and just make them kill people.
Bro, yeah, okay, so how many Knights of the Round Table
I
are
mean,
there?
5th gen they had steel Pokemon. Let's go take it to the extra step.
Oh, you're right. How many Knights of the Round Table were there?
12.
12? Okay, I was like, give us a Knight of the Round Table for each gym, and then you fight King Arthur as the champion.
I mean, technically 8 gyms and then the 4 elite. The 4 elite.
Oh, you
members.
running with
And then
it.
you got the champion.
Oh, you running
so
with it.
We can do this, boys.
Bro, that's wild. What if, like, no matter which version of the game you're playing, he wields, like, whatever, like, for example, if a legendary Pokemon is Excalibur, no matter which version you play on, he's always wielding Excalibur?
That would be pretty sweet.
Bro, the FBI is gonna get on. They're gonna be like, he has know too much. Alright, so that just about does it for our discussion. Was there any thoughts or anything you guys wanted to voice before we get out of here?
In terms of legendaries, okay, so UK, right?
Uh-huh.
Scotland.
Wales.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
Yo, that could be like
My
the
God.
shield Pokemon, make it really bulky.
Oh, you're right.
Although I kind of feel like the Loch Ness Monster would be kind of like a regular, or maybe like a mythical Pokemon. Kind of like a chibi, like, you know how like each generation has like, their Mew, Celebi, Jirachi. I feel like the Loch Ness Monster kind of fit into that category. That or one of like the other legendaries. Because like 4th generation just had like 20 legendaries for no reason.
Oh yeah, like, yeah, he's just there.
They could just toss in a Loch Ness Monster just for the hell of it.
He causes nightmares, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I haven't seen my son in a few years, it's fine.
Oh, there's one more thing I want to add. So like in the trailer, we see for like half a second that the guy's walking into the stadium in like a football outfit, and either it's Battle Royale or it's I think that could be new gyms. I think that like gyms could be stadiums and they could be sports themed. So like it's like you go up, it's like this big televised event, and like there's like always crowds in the gym and stuff like that. It's like a little slightly different, like I don't know, the way that you fight the people, it's like a little different, but it's more like a sport, and I think that's a fun way they could make things, not gyms exactly, but still be gyms.
I actually completely forgot about that, to be honest, like the whole soccer thing, but that's actually a really good point. Like, what do you guys, is that gonna be like a mini game of some sort, or is that actually just gonna be like the attire you wear when you go into a gym fight?
See, it could be also like a mini game, like you said, like in 4th gen, the what are they called?
Contests?
The competitions,
The contest.
the contest. Yeah, it could be like that, but I hope not. I hope it's like the gyms. I don't know.
Bro, okay, hear me out. What if it's like a demo unit for like a new Mario Strikers game, and you can actually like play Mario Strikers within the game, but like you use Pokemon and they have like specials and whatnot?
You know, I've seen Stranger Things with the Pokemon crossover with Nobunaga's Ambition, so why not?
Yo, Pokemon
You know, I was actually
Conquest
kinda-
was actually really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Conquest is fun. But I was thinking, you know how it was like a giant stalker stadium? Instead, you can have like, you can choose who's on your team, but your team's like full of Pokemon.
I would love
Champ, you're
that.
the goalie.
Yeah, hear me
Electrode,
out.
you're the ball.
Okay, hear me
You
out.
go
wa-
win. It's just FIFA.
It's just FIFA 19.
A better FIFA.
Or hear me out. You walk in, you see those people, you see a big TV, there's a Nintendo 64 in front of you with Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, and boom, you got the mini games on the Switch. Let's go. Alright, Rabbit, was there anything you wanted to add before we closed off?
Well, we pretty much covered everything. The only thing I think is, if it does, in fact, follow the Pokemon War that we've all heard about since Gen 1, I want to see Lieutenant Surge come in and zap some food. That's what I want to see.
Raichu, hit him with the Thunderbolt! I would actually really like that.
Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of which, if it is also following the Pokemon War, like, again, I hope it is, it could be a thing to where there might not be a rival. It might just be you trying to go to the certain point and eventually get to where you can save the day.
Interesting. I mean, at this point, with the last like 2 rivals we've had, I see in 6th you didn't have like a specific rival. I mean, I guess Serena was your rival, technically, but you had a posse in 6th generation. Like, I feel like they're done with the actual rival system. I don't even want like the last 2 rivals being like How and Chase. Just get them up out of here. I'd rather have no rival at this point.
They're literally your cheerleaders. They're not rivals.
Yeah. And honestly, if they go without a rival system anymore and they actually make it to where you are just sort of on a hero's journey, they could make it focus on character development a lot more for all the other people you run into.
Talking about character development, I just really hope our characters emote. Like in Sun and Moon, they're like, hey, the world's gonna end. Your mom's gonna die. And they're like, I'm still grinning ear to ear. I don't know what to say to that.
It's like, finally, damn.
Alright guys, we are gonna go ahead and get out of here. Of course, if you did like this discussion, leave a like on the video, give us your thoughts in the comment sections down below. But before we go, we will be plugging all their channels. Rabbit, where can they find you at?
Hello, my name is Rabbit Sensei. I can't talk. Anyhow, I am Rabbit, and I host the channel Rabbit Sensei Gaming on YouTube and the Twitch, which you can find by going to twitch.tv/rabbit_rabbit. I gotta skip out. Again, I can't talk. I just can't talk. You know what? You go first. You go first, Chris.
Alright, Chris, where they can find you at?
Oh, what's up? Follow me on YouTube at Count Christu and on Twitter at Count Christu for the spiciest Pokemon memes. And
he's got
I'll
some
see
pretty
you over
spicy
there.
memes. See, Rabbit, did that sound so hard, Rabbit?
No,
Alright,
but my tongue is twisted today. I don't know why.
Newtype, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Revolving Bunker. Send me a DM if you ever want to chat.
Alright, I expect everyone to send him DMs after this recording. And
All of
Rabbit, you feeling up to plug in your channel now?
Yes, sir, and you can find my channel over at Rabbit Sensei Gaming on YouTube and Twitch. You can also find me on the Twitters at r_Sensei Gaming, where you can send me a message and just go, hey, what up?
Okay, I want you to know it's taking everything in my being not to laugh at that accent, but we're gonna get out of here now, guys. It's been a blast. I will see you guys in the next video discussion. Whenever they drop out a next trailer or whatnot, we'll be here to discuss it. See you guys later. Deuces!
Bye-bye.